Hello, OMC families. I wanted to give you an update on our evacuation training drills that occurred this week in school. I began with our 4th grade classroom answering questions, describing how we will be practicing with different door exits and what Mrs. Sheets has the broom means, and how eventually we will practice with the entire student body. In the midst of the initial training, I had Miss Disney lock her door, pretend to call 911, exit quietly, and I met the 4th grade class outside with the broom in a different position so the kids would know the drill is over. Miss Disney did such a great job in keeping our kids safe, we locked ourselves out of her classroom. The door had to be taken off the hinges, parents, you may have heard of this, and then put back on. So this was a life lesson learned, and the kids realized they are truly safe in the classroom when they are following the rules during safety drills. I then went into pre-K4. We had a great drill. Miss Carol and Miss April had the kids remain quiet and hidden for probably 7 to 8 minutes. I was so impressed with what a great job Miss Carol did with her kids. The kids were hiding well, they were quiet, and I thought, that was a great start to practice. Pre-K3, they know what Mrs. Sheets has the broom means. They quietly exited the building, waving hello to me the entire exit, asking me to tickle their bellies with the broom, because when I initially went in, I said, I don't want the broom to tickle you or hurt you, but of course they still have that little bit of baby fat on their bellies, so they all wanted to be tickled with the broom. So we'll keep practicing so they get used to exiting the building, but I couldn't believe how quiet they were for Mrs. Leonard and Mrs. Wilson, and they did a great job. I mean, these kids are so little, and for them to be following the directions and just really listening was wonderful. Then 3rd grade, under the direction of Mrs. Stack, they know they are more important, and I went over with all the kids, than any item in the classroom. And they used the fire escape without disrupting Miss Disney's classroom teaching. They exited quietly, and they exited really well. And then 2nd grade followed Miss Jenkins out of the classroom. They understand the importance of Mrs. Sheets has the broom, and they know they need to listen to Miss Jenkins and Miss Evelyn so they know how to get out of the building safely. And then 1st grade and kindergarten, and they both were under the direction of the teacher, Miss Keenan, Mrs. Santini, and then Miss Kelly and Mr. Dean. So they know what it means. And I'm going to continue to practice different ways to exit the building depending on where Mrs. Sheets is with the broom. So I have already spoken with Mr. Coyle, and I will work with the upper school teachers to begin practicing evacuation drills with the upper school students next week. The upper school teachers have begun speaking to the students about safe evacuation. Once we have practiced with individual classes, we will begin to practice more with individual classrooms and then entire school exit procedures. And this is in follow-up to the training we had with the FBI, and we'll just continue to reassure the students, slowly introducing them so that we can continue to safely evacuate the building. All right, have a great day. Thank you.